All right, so we continue our trek through the module. I'm going to go through the assignments and see if I can get you guys through this video in a part one all, instead of breaking it up like last time. All right, so for your options this week, we are in what we call medical professionals and patients. This is really about our relationship with them. What are the responsibilities of our professionals, our nurses, our medical staff, our doctors, our technicians, and what is the obligation and responsibilities of the patient? So that's what this module kind of explores. So for your 3 possible tasks, let's go over all of them. So here's the first one. So this one is a write-in assignment. This one doesn't have any replies due. This is just a straight write-in assignment. What you're going to do is, I have a lot of materials here for you. You're mainly going to be working out of chapter 3. You're going to review what the basis of paternalism is, and then look at the case studies and see if there was paternalism applied. Now, the basis of the medical community is paternalism, meaning they are here to instruct you on the best advice. For example, when your AC breaks down, you call a technician will diagnose the problem, and he will give you their advice on what she thinks it might be and give you a solution. So in that sense, you're putting your trust and faith in the AC technician, that they are the experts and they are giving you the best way forward. Paternalism is the same situation in the medical field. The doctor is there to give you their advice and what they think is the best course of action. So in the past, paternalism has been what the leading path has been. But there are times when that conflicts with religion or with culture or with just distrust between the patient and the doctor. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of these case studies from the chapter, and then you're going to think about this as you're reading it. And then you're going to write a 3 to 4 paragraph response answering these questions, and then submit it as a written essay. Remember to put your rubrics at the bottom, and you are pushing for this area right here. So this one is just you looking at the case studies, analyzing it yourself, and popping it back out to me. For the second option, this is a straight discussion board. Now this is the one where you're going to post early. Make sure you have the required amount of days in between your reply, and discuss informed consent. Informed consent is a part of paternalism where they are going to give you their path forward, and they are required by law to give you all of the information you need to make an informed decision. Now, this is the gray area. What does it mean to be properly informed? Now, as you read some of these cases, you will see where informed consent was lacking and where it was working. So you're mainly going to be reading right here, but I've also included a few of these to kind of help you round out your understanding of informed consent. You won't need all of these articles or websites, but they are there if you need them to kind of reference outside the book. So for this one, you're going to research the ideas of informed consent, and then you're going to use this part for your discussion. I want you to reflect and describe a time in your areas when informed consent may have not been fully there. You are going to discuss the event, the circumstances, and the situation and the outcome. You're also going to look at a few of the articles and the chapters and discuss in this situation when dealing with minors. So right here is where you're going to focus most of your attention for your discussion board. And like I said, be sure that you post your initial before you do your post. So that's this one. So you can see how it kind of falls in line a little bit with paternalism. This one is going to require replies. Here is your rubrics to make sure you're hitting your full marks the whole time. And if you need any help, you could let me know. So let's go over the third option. So this option is a writing assignment. This one is a little different than the case study from the first option. This one requires you to look at 3 different areas in our history where principles and guidelines for research weren't really up to informed consent standards. So for this one right here, you have 3 readings out of the textbook: the Belmont Report, the Declaration of Helsinki, and the Nuremberg Code. all of these were created because there was a violation of informed consent under the guise of paternalism. So you can see how these are all kind of interrelated. For this one, you are kind of diving into why these are here and what is the impact of them. So if you come down into your instructions, what you're going to do is you're going to read and review all three of those and create a clinical fact sheet summarizing the ethical principles and guidelines. So here's this right here. In this scenario, you've been asked to make a 2-page fact sheet, kind of introducing your participants into the report we're about to discuss. So for this situation, you pretend you're the marketing agent and you've been tasked with, hey, we're about to have an all-day seminar and we're going to discuss these three. I need you to create a clinical fact sheet handout that summarizes all of these. So the person sitting there could be like, okay, this one, I could follow along. You have headings that you have to follow, and I have given you specific word count that you have to have for each one. That way you kind of stay within the parameters of what the fact sheet is going to look like. Now I have given you an example. Let me show you. This is an example of a clinical fact sheet. Now you can see it's going to have a picture on the top and it's going to kind of like draw in the eye. It's going to have a quick description of what the seminar is about. And then you see how I have these headings. You're going to have very similar headings right here telling you how long each one is. So what is the Belmont report? So you would have had that right here and then you would have broke it down. And what is the declaration? You'll have that right here and you'll explain it. So by the time you get done, this fact sheet should look very similar to the one that you would create with these prompts right here. When you're done, submit it as a PDF, and that's all that you will be doing for this one. Now, I have had a lot of people struggle with this one, especially if they're not tech savvy or they don't know how to visually assess what they're looking at. So please message me if you need help or if you want to adjust this in some way. And I'm hoping to have a template for you. This isn't just a straight PDF. I'm hoping to have my husband, who is more tech savvy, turn this PDF into something that we could edit instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, and you could just switch out pictures and headings yourself. But that's what this one is. So this written assignment is you creating a visual fact sheet that explains all of these as if you were in this scenario right here. So that is it for your 3 activities. Remember to pick 2 and submit those. Now for your module quiz. The module quiz, you're going to read a PDF, and I'm going to have a prep page here for you. I just have to make that. The prep page is going to give you a PDF that looks like this. So you're going to read this, and as you can see, let me scoot me over. It talks about the models that you'd read about in your chapter. The quiz is going to ask you to identify which one it is. I'm going to give you like some traits, and I'm going to ask you which model is that. The point of this model or this quiz isn't so you just memorize everything from memory. The point is to have this PDF here next to you and have the quiz right here so you can line things up. It's just like with the vocab. We're just trying to put these words into your collective consciousness so you can start using them with your everyday vernacular when you're doing your assignments. So like I said, I will put that right here so you have it, and it'll be sitting there waiting for you. But that's what we're doing for this module. You have these tasks all kind of under the umbrella of paternalism and informed consent, and then quiz your self-assessment on how well you were able to retain those principles for our medical professional patient. As always, please let me know if you need any help, and I'm here to kind of guide you and facilitate you through all of this information.